Hey everyone, I'm back with another Christmas puzzle this week and a new brand on the channel. For the first time I'm trying this one is the New York Puzzle Company, and they made this series called the New Yorker. This one was published in December 1941, so I thought the image was nice. It's a family getting ready for Christmas, preparing a Christmas tree, some decorations and stuff. I thought it would be fun to sort, fun to assemble. So I have the full review today. I can tell you right now, it was a pretty hard puzzle. I would say medium difficulty, because compared to last week, 1,000 pieces I did in 6 hours, and it happened a few times this year. So I would say 6 hours for me for 1,000 pieces is pretty easy. This one, 11 hours, but it's not the longest. I did some very hard puzzles, like the challenging puzzles from Ravensburger. You can spend 20, 30, 40 hours on 1,000 pieces if it's really hard. So that's why I say this is a medium difficulty. Now, I had a surprise when I opened the box. I found it was random cuts, so I didn't know, and it doesn't say clearly on the box, and you have to look. I looked after and I realized it was there, but it's at the bottom under the box here. There's a logo, and then you have the like the lines that show the cut. So it was a surprise, but it's not a bad thing. I don't hate random cuts. It's not my favorite, and I wouldn't do only random cuts, but it's fun once in a while for a change of pace. Now let's go for the quality of the pieces. The cut was nice. Again, it's random, but it was a good cut, like no rough edges. So yeah, it was a good quality puzzle. The finish was nice. It was not a shiny one. I was scared because last time I did a random cut, it was super glossy and I hated it. This one, it has brighter colors and lighter colors, so it would not have been the end of the world, but I still really like matte puzzle. So it's not super matte, but it's not super glossy. So I would say in between maybe. I like the illustration. It was a great design, guys. When you say puzzle design, you cannot just take a picture and say, okay, this is a puzzle, and just do whatever you like. It's important sometimes, like when these guys design the puzzle, where they put the lines and where they cut. So you have a lot of transition pieces, and it makes the puzzle fun to assemble, and you have more clues because the way it's cut. Now, one last thing, the pickup challenge. I say yes and no. I did try and I couldn't lift it. I couldn't keep the corner in my hand. I had to like grab the left corner like 2 or 3 times because it wouldn't follow. Then once I got the corner in my hand, I was able to lift it, and when I put it back down, it fell apart a little bit. So good thing or bad thing, once again, for me, it's not bad. It doesn't take anything away from the fun, and it's easier to disassemble at the end and put it back in the box. So here's what I did for this one. I got my sorting trays once again, and I start sorting by colors, but not too much. Like I did one tray for red, blue, white, then all the different browns or dark, and then the edges. So just 5 trays for this one. There's a lot of red pieces, guys, and I thought I was gonna do all the red first. I started with the frame, but didn't want to do the whole frame. The thing with these random cuts is you're always missing pieces, or you have extra pieces that you think is gonna be edges, but it's not. I thought I was gonna start with the big red bow, but when I was sorting the pieces, I realized the lettering, guys, like all the white on red, I thought it would be perfect to just start with the lettering, and that was a lot of fun and not so easy. It took me quite some time to do that. Maybe my first and my second session, yeah, working on the lettering. The smaller characters were easier, like December 13, 1941, price 15 cents, and then the big letters. So I went with maybe the curves for the O, the R's, and then the double lines for the W, and then the smaller lines for the N, the E. And that's what it looks like after maybe I would say 2 hours 15 minutes. Yeah, that's it. I'm not even finished. I'm missing some little parts of the N, the E on the left. Now after I was done with that part, I think I spent the next hour messing around a little bit. I thought I was gonna do more red. I did fill a little bit of pieces because some of them are just very dark, or they have some lines. So I did a little bit, and then I did some transition. The left and right edges, they have some very dark blue with some red transition. So yeah, looking for these pieces, trying to put together. And now at the 4th hour, that's what I decided to do, like doing all the transition to do all the outlines of the big red bow. So I did some red and white and red and blue, and then I moved on. I didn't get the whole line, but most of it. And then I did the blue tray, like the characters, like the girl, the guy chopping wood, and the red girl too. So yeah, from 3 to 5 hours I was working on this. It's not, again, because of the cuts, the random cuts, it's not always clear what goes where. It's a bit of a challenge. Then the next day I decided to move on the buildings. So you have these 3 buildings in the middle of the puzzle. So they have white and red and dark transitions. They have angles. And I was looking for these pieces. I was using my foam boards a lot for this puzzle. So yeah, again, a bit of a challenge here. Not super easy. The thing we have here is some spots on the roof. It's not just white roof. They have some spots of blue to yellow to dark greenish. So it's a bit of help. And then I was able to connect a little bit. And the puzzle was starting to take place. And then after that, I try to fill the space between the roofs and the water. So it's kind of a gradient of beige, dark, light brown. And yeah, after 7 hours working on the puzzle, I would say it looks like I have maybe half of it done, but still a lot of work to do. So now I'm working on the brown tray. The darker brown, I would maybe assemble the baskets. The very, very dark green, I would do the bottom corners of the puzzle. And then I was working on the green, like what would be the Christmas tree. Now you have textures. You have a lot of greenish, but some of it's gonna be grass lines, some of it's gonna be branches of the trees on left and right, and the Christmas tree in the middle. So yeah, working on textures, trying to assemble one part at a time. So I did like the tree in the middle, then I separated the pieces and start working on the smaller branches. So it would be top left, top right. There's a bit of blue on the right that was also helping a little bit. And then I spent some time assembling all the trees. So that was a fun part. I would say at this point, like all the bottom half of the puzzle, that was the fun part. I decided to keep the red for the end, and that would be pretty decent. I did get some progress pretty fast. It was fun, and yeah, I felt like I was progressing there. Beautiful puzzle, by the way. Nice image, fun to work with. At this point, I finished assembling the edges and I filled all the holes at the bottom. Now it's a lot of just beige, light brown, and white-ish, and I finished assembling. Like, that was pretty quick. Yeah, you have the pieces, you have the holes, you just fill. Now we're at 9 hours and a half maybe, and all I have to do is the red bow. And that was a challenge. I spent maybe a whole 2 hours, I guess. About 2 hours on that. You see some shapes and you trying to find the right piece, and it's just not what you think you're looking for. It end up being something else. It just seems like everything there is just there to mess with you, mess with your brain. You're used to stuff and you're looking for something because you did so many puzzles before, and it's just not that. It's fun though. It's fun, it's challenging, stimulating, and satisfying. Every piece you put there is just satisfaction. So that was a nice puzzle. Again, the New Yorker series from the New York Puzzle Company. This one is the Christmas one from December 1941. If you can get this one, definitely go for it. It's fun and it's a bit harder than it seems. And New York Puzzle Company, I would do again in the future, but again, so many brands to try. If I'm gonna do a brand that I already know, I would probably go for something else, because again, not a super fan of random cuts, but still it's a great puzzle, guys. And if you want a change of pace, try it. So that's it for this one, and next week I have another one that I just realized. White Mountain, puzzle company. I never did before. It was recommended. I know a lot of you guys like this brand. I just realized at the bottom it says larger pieces, but then on the size it says actual size, and it doesn't look that big, so I think it's gonna be a standard one. I don't think it's a random cut. It doesn't say, but I think it's gonna be standard. It's a collage. It's gonna be my first kind of collage puzzle. It's another Christmas one, so I will post this one next week. Once again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, smash like, subscribe for more. I will see you guys next week.